Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon. I am Zainab Badran, and I'll be your moderator for today's session. It's a pleasure to welcome you all. In today's session, we'll provide a brief introduction to the US markets and walk you through how to navigate ADIB Securities global trading platform. We'll wrap up with a Q&A, and stay tuned. We'll announce 3 winners of 500 dirhams Amazon online vouchers. It's now my pleasure to introduce someone who brings deep expertise in this space, Mr. Hassan Hanouf, Head of Institutional Sales and Global Markets at ADIB Securities.
Thank you very much, Zena, for the introduction. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Hassan Hanouf, Head of Institutional Sales and Global Markets at ADIB Securities. Thank you for joining us today in this session. Hope it will be beneficial for you, and we are happy to take your question at the end of the session. Let's get started with the introduction of the U.S. markets. The U.S. markets is the largest, most dynamic, most liquid market globally, and also the most influential. We always hear about it in the news with the major indices that are always quoted, such as the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, the NYSE, the Dow Jones, the Russell 2000. Each one of these indices is covering the U.S. markets. For example, the S&P 500 is the 500 largest companies in the U.S. and globally, actually. And the NASDAQ is covering the NASDAQ itself, the exchange, which is around 4,075 stocks, and it's a bit more on the tech side. Then you have the Dow Jones, which is the 30 stocks in this indices, which is covering a broad base of sectors in the U.S., gives you a good gauge of the U.S. economy and how it's doing. And the Russell 2000 represents the mid-cap and small-cap stocks that are on the exchanges in the U.S. The 2 major exchanges in the U.S. are the New York Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ. The New York Stock Exchange has 2,800 listed companies. The NASDAQ has 4,075. To give you an idea of the significance of the NASDAQ, for example, on a daily basis, the turnover and value traded is around $400 billion on an average day. We have on both exchanges, we have at ADIB Securities that we actually cover, we have around 1,400 shares that we offer to our clients that are Sharia compliant. And also, out of these 2 exchanges, we have significant amount of stocks that are covered. Obviously, the most significant of them that we always hear in the news of is the Magnificent Seven. The Magnificent Seven is represented by Apple, Microsoft, Tesla, Meta, Nvidia, Amazon, and Google. Each one of these tech major players is dominating in one aspect of technology or another for the past few years. We have Nvidia, which we've been hearing about a lot with AI, Google, which is a very significant search engine. And then you got the Microsoft is a software developer and a software producer for many years. Tesla, which is in the EV and electronic vehicles. Meta is social media. All these companies are heavily traded, heavily used, and we use them on a daily basis ourselves. Now, the U.S. market is a 24-hour market traded. You have access to this market on a 24-hour basis. The regular hours in the U.S. market is from 5:30 p.m. to 12 a.m. in UAE time. You have the other sessions that are also, I'm going to go through the aftermarket right after the regular market hours. Aftermarket in our time in the UAE is 12 a.m. to 4 a.m. The overnight is from 4 a.m. to 12 p.m. UAE time, and the pre-market is 12 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. You have the ability to trade these markets on a 24-hour basis. We offer them at ADIB Securities also. All these sessions are offered. Not every broker offers them. It's important to note that the most liquid one of them is the regular market hour. Obviously, the other ones have varying liquidity aspects and accessibility as well. And overnight, you cannot access all the stocks. Mainly, the large cap are available. Now, to give you a grasp of how large the U.S. markets is and how large the U.S. exchanges are, we have a graph here demonstrating this. The New York Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ, as you see, are in market capitalization are over $20 trillion of market capitalization. Each one of them, any one of them will dwarf the other 5 markets combined from, let's say, Shanghai, Euronext, Tokyo, Shenzhen, and India in one market. We have the 12 top markets here listed in terms of market cap. You've got the UAE with ADX and DFM combined at number 12. We offer at ADIB Securities 5 of the 12 exchanges that are represented here, the 12 largest exchanges, obviously the New York Stock Exchange, the NASDAQ, also the Saudi Tadawul, and the ADX and DFM in the local markets. Now, another illustration of again, how big and how large the US market is compared to the rest of the world. You see here the combined NYSE and NASDAQ is around $52 trillion. The next one after that is going to be China with $11 trillion, which combines Shanghai, Shenzhen, and Hong Kong stock exchanges. Again, US much larger than its second counterpart, China, and the rest of the world. And that's why a very significant importance is paid always to the US market and economy, and how the rest of the world reacts and how the rest of the world is also influenced by these markets. The Magnificent Seven is important to note that is also quite significant. Out of the 52 trillion, around 13 trillion, the Magnificent 77 companies are in terms of market cap. Again, a large significance and influence also for the markets worldwide. Now, to show you the significance of the Magnificent Seven in comparison to the S&P 500, which is the 500 largest stocks on the index of the S&P, and the index of the S&P. In the past 10 years, you see that the influence that has been growing from 2014 around 9%, representing 9% of the S&P 500, the Magnificent Seven that is, and then growing to the last year, 2024, to around 30%. So almost 1/3 of the whole S&P 500 in terms of market cap is represented by 7 companies alone, in comparison to 593. So you see this chart on the right side of how large these 7 companies have attributed to the S&P 500. Also, in terms of performance, they represent over 50% of the performance of the S&P in the past 2 years, 2023 and 2024. Now, to show you the S&P 500, which is, again, a very important gauge of the US economy, and also we call it the barometer of the US economy because it represents the large cap stocks of the US economy. This is a graph showing the trajectory of the S&P in the past, let's say 70 years, from 1952 to 2024. As you see, the trend is very clear. It's upwards. And as we say in trading, the trend is your friend. Again, you will see some downturns, of course. Things are not always going upwards. There's cycles. We have the most recent one in 2022. We had here in the blue zone, in the light blue, we had the COVID pandemic, which caused the markets to decrease and then increase dramatically afterwards. You see a very sharp turn there in the past 2 years, 2022 to 23, 24, a very good performance from the S&P, around 60%. And then you see the last one before that, the crisis in 2008, the financial crisis. And then again, you see a 12-year span of very good performance in S&P of around 600%. And again, before that, you see the 2000 dot-com bubble, which also we had a crisis for a couple of years. And then it went back up, the S&P, for the next 5 years to produce 100% of performance. Again, just to let you know, the inception of the S&P is since 1926. And on average, the performance of S&P since 1926 is 10%. So pretty good performance over time for this index. Now, just to give you an idea of the market with a quick overview of what's happening. As I said before, in 2023, the S&P performed pretty well, 24% around, and 2024 was also at 23%. So combined, almost 50% 2 years in a row, which was very, very good performance. We've started the year a bit on the downturn when it comes to S&P, NASDAQ, and Dow, and even Russell. The whole market, broad base, was facing headwinds with uncertainty coming from a new president in the United States with some tariffs that has been introduced and some tariff talks. Also, some inflation fears or some regression fears or growth fears. And then again, we had the IMF recently revise the GDPs of each country because of these fears. So the uncertainty in the market is not liked by the markets. Usually when there's uncertainty, things go a bit volatile, and the volatility is there since the beginning of the year. Although the Magnificent Seven also face the same challenges, their earnings have been very good. The past earning for the Q1 that just came out the past couple of days or weeks have been good, and some of them reacted positively. So it remains to be seen throughout the year what is going to be the big takeaways from what the US is going to do on the tariffs and how they will negotiate with the rest of the world. And hopefully things will turn out to be in the right direction. And we have to stay always alert, and diversification is key, and also to pick the right sectors, the right stocks in these kind of times. Now, on the right side, you see 151 years of S&P return, just to give you a snapshot of how the S&P has performed over time. A lot of, there's more in green than in red. The orange and red is the negative years, and the green ones and the blue are the positive years. And there's a lot more positive than negative. And, we hope that 2025 will be in the green and in these positive sectors as well. Now, would like to just to wrap it up, take a quote from a very famous investor, an investor that's been in limelight for the past 55 years at the helm of Berkshire Hathaway, which has performed really well. And he's the one who performed very well in the markets for his investors. He actually announced last week that he's going to be retiring by the end of the year. He's 94. Warren Buffett says, and I quote, "The stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient." So, you have to be disciplined. You have to be patient when you are trading the stock market. He also says, another quote of his, the best investment that you do is investing in yourself. So basically, stay abreast of the markets, always keep yourself informed, educate yourself. This is the best tool that you have for you to perform better. Information is abundant in the US market and other markets around the world. So make sure that you're always plugged in for you to find out what's the latest to make the right decision for yourself. Now I'll pass it on to Zena for her to talk about how to open a US account with ADIB Securities.
Thank you, Hassan, for all the information that you have provided. And let's now walk you through how you can access the US markets with ADIB Securities. Actually, it's a simple and straightforward process. Just visit any of our branches in Abu Dhabi, Dubai, or Al Ain, based on your location, and kindly bring with you your ID, passport. You'll be asked to sign the trading agreement. After your account is opened, please fund your account and you are ready to trade from the comfort of your mobile or your iPad, as you wish. Throughout the process, you can anytime reach to our call centers and our client services team, who will be helping you and answering all your questions you may have. For more information, please remember always to browse our website, www.adibsecurities.ae. Now that we've covered the account setup, let's move on to the practical part. Mr. Hassan will again take us now through a live demo on how to navigate the ADIBS global platform. This is where you'll be accessing all Sharia-compliant US markets, tracking your stocks, placing orders, and much more. Over to you, Mr. Hassan.
Welcome back. Now we will walk you through the ADIBS Global app. We will navigate through it together on the mobile, which is the venue that you'll probably be using most for trading. You will start by entering a username and password into the ADIBS Global app, which is downloaded on your iOS or Android. The password and the user ID will be provided by our customer service team once you open the trading account, along with a welcome email with how to fund the account and all the features that are presented within the US trading account. Now we will start with walking you through how to create a watch list. Before I go into details on how to do that, I would just like to note that the pricing that is provided on ADIBS Global app for US market is free of charge. It's a service provided by ADIB Security. So the pricing for US markets, for NYSE and NASDAQ, for pre-market, main market, and aftermarket is going to be free of charge. So first thing you'll see when you open your ADIBS Global app is your watch list. Now, this is a watch list that I created for myself from before. The first time you will log in, it's going to be blank, and you're going to need to populate it with the stocks that you want. So let me show you how to create a watch list from scratch. You go on the top left here, it says My Watch List. You see a little arrow in blue pointing down. You press on it. You go all the way down, and you see New Watch List. You press on it as well. Now you add the watches that you want with the name that you want. So I want to call my watch list HH, let's say 8. And then I press on the right side here, the square in blue. It's going to create the watch list as you see here, which is blank. So now I will start populating it with the stocks that we want to select. We'll start by selecting the stocks. I'll start with NVIDIA. On the cursor on the top left, I press NVIDIA. I put the name NVIDIA, and then we have NVIDIA Corp appearing. I press on it, and it gets added to my watch list. I want to add one more. I add Apple in the search bar on the top, and then Apple Inc. will appear. I select it. It goes into my watch list. I want to add one more. I want to add Amazon, for example. So Amazon is there. I add it. As you could identify here on the watch list, you could see the Hilal, green Hilal sign, which means that this stock is Sharia compliant and readily available for you to trade. You see NVIDIA and Apple are Sharia compliant with the Hilal sign. Amazon is not, which means you'll not be able to trade it through ADIB Securities. So now I've created my watch list with these 3 stocks. There's more information at your disposal on the watch list itself. You see the change in price, the change percentage wise, the chart direction, and then the bid, the ask, bid quantity, volume, turnover, volumes, 30 days average, and then open, high, low of the day, and so on and so forth. So all this information is at your disposal on the watch list itself. Now, this is the standard watch list that you will create when you open the account. If you want to adjust it to your preference, on the top right here, the little wheel, you press on it, and you can change the preferences to your liking. So I want to make it a bit bigger to make it more visible. I go to watch list view, and I change it to dual row. I want to add a logo for the company, the stocks that are there. So we'll add a logo. If you want, you could add a flag for the exchange. And then if you want, you could even increase or decrease the zoom level to your liking as well. Here on the scrolling here on the left and right. And then you just go back, and then the changes have been applied. NVIDIA, you see that the symbol has been applied for the company with the brand shown there. Apple, Amazon, the same thing. So it's a bit more visible for you. Now, if you want to make further changes to your watch list, there's a little pen on the top right here. You press on it, and then I want to take out one of the stocks on the watch list. If, for example, you press on the bin on the right, then you select the stock you want to take out, and then you just delete it with the bin again. Now we're down back to 2 shares showing on my watch list. Now we will go through the features of the trading platform, which is on the mobile again. You're going to press here on the bottom right of the menu with the 3 little lines. For example, we'll start with feature like changing your language settings. You go here, you press on the 3 little lines with the menu. Then on the left, the blue rectangle will appear. On the bottom of it, there's a little wheel. We press on it for settings. And then we go to display, preferred language and theme. Here we can change the language from English to Arabic. We can also change the preferred theme from light to dark. So this is for you to know how to change the language and the theme. If you like it to be dark or light, again, it's to your preference and you could change it. I will leave it the way it is. Now, one more feature here. You go on the bottom left and you could see world markets, global markets, and how they're performing. Again, a good view of what's happening globally. So you have a summary of the exchanges around the world, the Nasdaq Composite, DFM Index, how it's performing, the Dow, Egyptian 30, Hang Seng, all the different major exchanges, all shown here, Tadawul, for you to have a little idea of what's happening worldwide. Indices as well on the top here on the right. Then you have commodities, gold, Brent crude, spot silver, WTI, also prices of what's happening right now. And also currencies, the last one here, currency pairs, the major currency pairs shown as well, just to give you an idea of what's happening. Now, I will go back to the watch list and show you the features, the trading features for each stock. For example, I go back to the watch list and I want to see for NVIDIA. And then NVIDIA, I press on it, and then this comes up, the overview of what's happening with NVIDIA, the bid and ask in green and red on the top. The price is 112.46 at the moment. And then the overview, you'll have a bit of information overview of everything to do with this stock. I will go one by one specifically to show you how to extract the information that you need. So on the top here, you have the different teams that you can go through for you to extract the information that you want. We go to news, for example. You will have the latest news concerning NVIDIA that will appear. This is an aggregate of all the news concerning the NVIDIA stock that will pop up here for you to have and read about as you wish. So you'll have the latest 10 hours ago on NVIDIA. They will be populated by the latest news, of course, coming on here. So let's say we press on it, you get the, the title, U.S. lawmakers target NVIDIA ship smuggling to China with a new bill. And then you could press on it to continue reading. It will take you straight to the link for you to read more about it. So this is for news. Then you have news sentiment as another feature here. Of course, trading and these stocks trade, in a sensitive manner to what news is disclosed and what news is available. So bullish or bearish according to the news sentiment here. And you could just see over time through the dates on the bottom what's happened to the stock concerning what news has come in. Tech analysis on the top again here, another feature that is important. So the tech analysis feature here, if you want to go more in depth with some charting, the charting is available on your desktop for you to be a bit more precise and concise about charting. The charting tool is very sophisticated, and you could explore it on the web tool with the same username and password. Here, it's just done for you quickly to have a view of what you could do with the tech analysis. Target price here is 120 and the stop loss is 95. So it gives you an idea if you want to use this as a trigger for you to put your target price for taking profit, or your target price to put a stop loss, which is available on the trading. When you start trading, I'll show you later how to use the bracket order for you to take advantage of these stop losses and take profit mechanism on the trading ticket. Now you go down and you see also a good indication. Oscillators are bullish, summary is bullish, moving average is kind of neutral. So without you going into much more depth, it gives you all the information for technical analysis available. RSI, which is a very important indicator when it comes to technical analysis, is at 55, which means neutral, and then momentum and MACD. So all the different technical tech analysis parameters are presented here with the values for you to take a quick decision on what you want to do when it comes to buying or selling a stock. Then the next one, also another nice one, which is analyst view. This gives you the view of analysts here. It says based on 70 analysts as of the 1st of May 2025. So we're talking about analysts that are institutional analysts. We're talking about big banks, Wall Street, so the Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, BMO, some big asset management firms will put their analyst views on if they're long, if they're short. So we see here that strong buy for NVIDIA, 24 of them are strong buy, 37 of the analysts are buy, and 8 are hold, sell only 1, strong sell 0. And then you have price targets that are also presented here from high target, medium target, and low target. You don't have to follow this to the letter. It's just an indicator for you to have a view of what the institutional investors are thinking about this share. And this is the moving of the analyst view on how it's moved over time from month to month. So, and then at the bottom, you will have the trend analyst and what they said on which particular date. And if they're overweight, if they're underweight, if they're neutral, all this will be provided as well. Next one, financial ratios. Financial ratios are done for you also at the tip of of just click, and you have the P ratio. For example, for NVIDIA is at 38.72. Industry average is 22.91. It's normal. This is a very heavily traded stock on the buy side. It's Mag 7, so the P ratios are quite high. But again, this is automatically done for you to have a good look of the health of this company. PB ratio, dividend yields, ROE, ROI, net profit margin. You see here, net profit margin is very, very high, 55.85% compared to the industry average at 2.81%. So these tools are good for you to take a look quickly to understand the financial ratios of a company, to take, again, a good call on what you want to do when it comes to buying or selling a stock. Corporate actions also here. So we have all the corporate actions from the last one to the ones after that. So the latest corporate action for NVIDIA was on the 26th of February. It was a quarterly dividend payout. The ex-dividend date is presented here. The dividend payout is 0.01 cent per share. Payment date was on the 2nd of April 2025. So all this information is, again, at your grasp for you to view. The peer companies on the top right here will give you peer companies that are similar to or in the same segment as NVIDIA and how they're performing against each other. So AMD, for example, is another AI chip maker. Broadcom, Intel, Micron. So also gives you consensus view on the technical and fundamental of if it's a buy, it's a bullish or neutral. Again, you have here a trend analysis. So NVIDIA is pretty much in the middle, trending up in the middle. Yeah, Broadcom and Micron trading up even more. So just give you a little indication where it stands against its peers. And then at the bottom here, there's a graph, last 1 year price performance for each one of these in comparison to each other. One last one here, a feature that we would like to also cover. The instrument profile is good to have. If sometimes we have so many stocks in the US markets, you want to know what this stock is all about. The summary will be presented to you. And then what kind of business they're in, the ISIN, the listing dates, employees, fiscal year. All this will be there for you to understand what is the share all about, what is the company all about. Now I'll show you how to place a trade. So we're back on the watch list. Let's say I want to place a trade on a different stock. Let's say I will put Plug Power. I'll go back to my search tool here, Plug Power. I add it. Plug Power is Sharia compliant. I go into Plug Power, I press on it. And then I go to the B here for buy. And then my trade ticket appears in front of me. So Plug Power is at 80 cents, 80,009. And I could buy Plug Power with value or quantity. So I could buy it fractional, basically. So I could put, let's say, $1,000 and buy Plug Power with $1,000 exactly, or with quantity of shares. So let's say I want to buy 10 shares or 20 shares of Plug Power. Okay, the price is 0.8011. So we have the order type. I want to buy, you could select either market or limit. Market, you can only select market when you are trading in market hours. Market hours for US market at the moment in the UAE time is from 5:30 to midnight. Now we are in pre-market time, and we can only select limit and put a limit price. So limit price is a price that will be set by myself. So let's say I want to buy it at 1,800, 80 cents basically. And then I go down in my trade ticket. I need to select the trade session. As we talked before in the presentation, you have 4 trade sessions in the US markets: the pre-market, the main session, the aftermarket, and overnight, which is around the clock, 24 hours. We are in post-market at the moment, so I need to select post-market. Sorry, not post-market, pre-market. And then you can buy it. Okay. And before I buy it, I want to add a bracket to take profit or to put a stop loss to my trade. I press on the bottom here, bracket, and then tick place bracket order. I want to take profit at $1 and put a stop loss at 0.772 cents. You can change it and put stop loss at 0.65 cents, and I want to take profit at $1.20. And you can pick one of the two if you want. You put 0 for one and put a price for the other, or you could put a bracket for both sides, meaning that the system will trigger a stop loss at 65 cents if the stock goes down, and if the stock goes up, and I will take profit at $1.20. And then we have all the details of what we're trying to do here. The order value, $16. Commission, you press on the commission, it says $20 with the VAT here, $1. Net value, $37 altogether. And then everything is clear. So we're going for an order that is completely all in at $37 with the commissions and the VAT. And then you press buy here on the bottom right. And then again, you have a second window that appears for you to make sure that you want to go ahead with this transaction. You press submit if you want to go ahead. It gives you all the details. Let's say we press submit here. The order has been sent successfully. Let's go back and see if this order has been executed. You go back to my account, and then on the top right here, order list, Plug Power, order value $16 is queued. It has not been executed yet. If it was executed, it would tell you executed at the price that you want. So it's queued at the moment and not been executed. Now, if you want to further see other features once you are done with the trade, you can go down in more here on the bottom right, trading account, and then you go to account details for you to extract your statements. And then you see your account detail here. You could see what is the cash available, cash balances, what is the holdings that you have. Everything's there. Now I want to extract a statement. I go on the top right here, account statement. And I want to get the account statement for the period of, let's say, April. Download. The statement comes out. Here it is. So this is how much cash I have, how much holdings, all the information is available, and I could create the statement at any time, month to month. And I could send it to anyone I want, send it to myself, or save it wherever I want. This is it for the trading segment, to place a trade and how to extract statement. Thank you very much. We will now move on to taking your questions, and Zaina will take it from here. Thank you.
Thank you, Hassan, for the insightful session. And it's worth to mention to our clients or participants that at any time you could visit our premises for more tutorials, live tutorials, where we have a hub. It's called Sahmak Hub. At our branches, you could practice more and ask any questions you might feel you need help with. And now let's move on to some of the questions we've received from our audience. The first question from Mr. Ahmed. Our Sharia compliant stocks will be listed in the trading app. So Hassan, Mr. Ahmed is asking if there is a Sharia compliant stock sign or anything that will be listed on our application.
Sure. Thank you, Zainab, for the question. And to Ahmed, the Sharia compliant stocks will be very easily identifiable on your watch list. As I pointed out before on the demonstration for the trading app, you will have a green Hilal sign next to any Sharia compliant stock. And those are the stocks that you'll be able to actually trade. Any stock that doesn't have a green Hilal, they will not be permissible for you to trade in. Just to let you know, the Sharia compliant stock list is updated every quarter, every 3 months. And accordingly, the Hilal will be updated on the system as well.
Okay. The next question, pre-market orders via ADIB Securities.
Yes, sure. You can place 24 hours. Basically, we have accessibility to the US markets on our app, on our ADIBS global application or online, whichever one you prefer to use. So again, as I pointed out earlier, each one of the markets, the main market will be very liquid and you'll have huge access to it because that's the main market, which is from 5:30 p.m. our time here in UAE until midnight. The other market is aftermarket and pre-market are available and overnight as well. There you have a bit, it's a bit, the liquidity will be a bit less and you can only place trades not at market, but at limit. And they're accessible as well. Overnight will be probably the one that would have the least liquidity, and probably you'll find only the stocks that are large cap, that are a bit larger than the average.
Okay, Ms. Yara is asking, what happens if a stock I hold becomes non-Sharia compliant after I buy from your application or from your trading platform?
Very good question. If you buy a share, let's say you buy Apple and you bought it a month ago, it was Sharia compliant, and now we came out with our new Sharia compliance list after 1 quarter, and it's not there anymore. Now you still hold it. You can hold it as long as you want since you already bought it, but you cannot buy it again. It will be restricted for buy, but you can sell it anytime you want. So this is how we deal with the Sharia compliance. If you wanted to buy a non-Sharia share that became non-Sharia later, you cannot buy it, you can only sell it.
Okay, other question from Noura. I might answer this. I'm using ADIB Securities for local, DFM and ADX trading. How I enroll into the US trading? Actually, as we mentioned in the webinar, you can visit any of our branches. Just bring your documents, your ID and passport, sign our trading agreement, and you will receive the welcome email actually on how you can trade all the information related to the US market, and you can start trading. Mr. Hassan, there is a question for you as well. It's regarding, will I able to fund my account in dirhams or should it be in dollars in order to start trading in the US markets?
Another good question. If you're trading in US markets, it's in dollars, it's in USD. You need to fund the account in dollars since we're working with that. These exchanges work in dollars. Similarly, if you're working in exchange in the UAE, it's in dirham. And if you work in an exchange, let's say in Tadawul, which is Saudi, it has to be in Saudi Riyal. So you have to exchange your dirham for USD, for dollars. And we have simplified the steps for you. When you open the account, we provide you with a short description how to transfer, how to fund your account. And we do it easily through your ADIB banking app.
Thank you, Hassan. The last question, what makes the US market and ADIB Securities something special or different? This is a question from Mr. Omer.
We give a lot of importance to our clients, and we give the best service. We have 3 branches in the UAE, one in Abu Dhabi in our HQ, one in Dubai, one in Al Ain. We have, we do some trading seminars. We face clients face to face. We give you one-on-one sessions to show you how to trade, whether it's on our ADIBS Sec UAE app or on ADIBS Global. We provide the best service with our team, and we have also the best technology available. As I showed you, the application has a lot of features to help you trade in a better way, and we are always working also to enhance the experience for our clients.
Okay, now we've covered all the questions, and as I mentioned before, you can always text us to our customer service emails, send us an inquiry through our website, call us, visit us, and inshallah you'll find all the answers that you're looking for. Now it's time to announce the 3 lucky winners of AED 1,000 dirhams online Amazon vouchers. Thank you all for your participation, and we're looking to see you more and more informative sessions. And thank you for choosing ADIB Securities. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So here are the winners. Congrats, Mr. Mohammed Abu Shahada. Second winner. Mr. Scott, congratulations. And the third winner. Mr. Ahmed Al-Hosani. Thank you all and congratulations. Our team will be in contact with you within 1 week. Hope to get more informative sessions. Stay informed. Please follow us on ADIB social media and track ADIB Securities, and you will get more webinars in the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam.